Imagine sitting at your kitchen table, wondering if it's truly possible to feel more energetic, protect your heart, and keep your memory sharp, all while adding a single simple food to your regular meals. Many of us have spent decades following diet trends, sometimes only to find they don't fit our changing needs as we age. Yet there's something quietly making waves among health-conscious seniors around the world. Sardines, a humble staple in many Mediterranean communities. Far from being just a pungent fish in a tin, sardines hold a wealth of nutrients that most people over 65 have never fully explored. Think about the very real struggles you may face right now. Stiff joints, waning energy, concerns about heart health, or simply the desire to stay vital enough to enjoy your grandchildren. You might be surprised how this unassuming fish could help. Before we delve into the specifics, let's acknowledge why it matters so much to address nutritional gaps in your later years. Seniors often need more protein for muscle maintenance, more calcium for bone strength, and more heart-friendly fats for cardiovascular health. At the same time, there's the emotional side of wanting independence, feeling confident in your daily life, and keeping a sense of purpose. Sardines, which many people dismiss due to their aroma or forget altogether in favor of flashier health foods, are brimming with some of the very nutrients that can support these goals. By taking just a bit of time to learn why and how to incorporate them, you could experience a subtle yet profound transformation, one that keeps you steady on your feet, sharp in your thinking, and open to new possibilities. Over the course of our conversation, we'll talk about 3 key insights that challenge what many seniors believe about nutrition and aging. First, we'll uncover how sardines offer a more complete source of essential vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats than most people realize. Second, we'll explore their often overlooked role in supporting both the heart and brain simultaneously, a powerful combination for those looking to maintain their independence. Finally, we'll walk through realistic strategies for adding sardines to your meals in a way that respects your dietary preferences, medical conditions, and personal tastes. Each step comes with practical advice you can implement immediately, along with the emotional lift that comes from knowing you're investing in your quality of life. I've spent years interviewing health professionals, studying nutritional trends, and listening to real stories from older adults who have made small dietary shifts with big payoffs. While I'm not here to replace your healthcare provider, I do offer a wealth of insight designed to empower you with trustworthy, balanced information. So as we embark on this journey, consider your own health goals. Is it stronger bones, more stable energy, or perhaps relief from nagging aches and pains? Maybe you simply want the freedom to travel and savor time with loved ones without feeling held back. Whatever your aspirations may be, keep them in mind. You might be amazed at how something as unassuming as a can of sardines, rich in nutrients often lacking in senior diets, can help pave the way to a more vibrant tomorrow. And if you have any specific questions, don't hesitate to keep them in mind or even jot them down. After all, the best health choices come from staying curious and open to new ideas. If at any point you find yourself nodding along or thinking of someone else who needs this information, feel free to share it, because the more seniors discover this Mediterranean secret, the more we can support each other on the path to healthier aging. Let's begin by tackling the first big revelation about why sardines matter. A lot of people over 65 have grown up hearing that you can get all the nutrients you need from a varied diet, so it may come as a surprise that one specific food can offer so many targeted benefits. The common assumption is that sardines are no different from other small fish, too bony, too smelly, or too salty. But the real story begins with an older gentleman named Richard, 73, who used to joke that the only creatures who should eat sardines were cats. He believed the standard advice: just eat a balanced diet and take a daily multivitamin. Over time, however, Richard started feeling more tired than usual. He noticed his reflexes weren't what they used to be, and routine tasks, like climbing a couple of stairs with a laundry basket, left him breathless. After speaking with a dietitian friend, Richard learned that his fatigue and mild breathlessness might be tied to low levels of certain nutrients, particularly vitamin B12 and iron. Sardines, to his shock, were recommended as a dense source of both. They also provide omega-3 fatty acids, which support cell health, reduce inflammation, and can benefit everything from joints to mood. He was skeptical at first because sardines have a reputation for being unappetizing, but he decided to try them mixed into a vegetable-rich salad with a drizzle of lemon juice and olive oil. In just a few weeks, he found that his energy improved and the breathlessness wasn't as noticeable. While sardines didn't solve every issue, they turned out to be a surprisingly simple piece of the puzzle. What's remarkable about sardines is that they're often eaten whole, which includes the tiny bones, a fantastic source of calcium and phosphorus for bone health. Many older adults worry about bone density, especially after 65, and sardines provide a form of calcium that's easier for the body to absorb compared to many supplements. There's also the powerful duo of vitamin D and vitamin B12. Vitamin D helps your body use calcium effectively, and B12 is crucial for keeping nerve cells functioning properly and maintaining healthy blood cells. Lack of B12 can lead to fatigue, numbness, and even memory issues over time, concerns that are especially common among seniors. Another crucial factor is that sardines contain protein, which is essential for muscle maintenance and recovery. Seniors often need slightly higher protein intake to counter muscle loss and maintain strength. The protein in sardines is complete, meaning it contains all the essential amino acids your body requires. So if you've been relying on sporadic sources of protein or skipping meals, sardines could be a quick way to ensure you're not missing out on these building blocks. They're also relatively affordable compared to many types of seafood, and the canned varieties make them convenient to store and prepare. Plus, because sardines are small fish, they tend to have fewer toxins like mercury, which can be a concern with larger fish. Emotionally, discovering a single food packed with so many benefits can be empowering. It's a simple step that can help you regain a sense of control over your health. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by complicated diet plans or costly superfoods, you can pick up a can of sardines the next time you go shopping, knowing you're feeding your body something truly nourishing. To get started, try adding sardines to a meal once a week, perhaps a sandwich with some mustard and onions, or mixed into a fresh garden salad. If the flavor is strong for you at first, experiment with sauces or seasonings. Remember to keep an open mind. Sometimes it's the smallest changes that spark the biggest shifts. If you're following a specific diet plan or taking medication, it's always wise to talk with your healthcare provider or a registered dietitian before making big dietary changes. And remember, not everyone responds to the same foods in the same way. But for many seniors, sardines are a hidden gem, a nutrient powerhouse that addresses multiple concerns in a single affordable package. Now that we've unpacked the nutrient profile of sardines, let's move on to something just as surprising: how these little fish can offer targeted support for both the heart and the brain, two areas of health that matter deeply to anyone wishing to remain independent and active well into their golden years. We often hear advice like, watch your saturated fat, or cut back on salt, and for good reason. But many people overlook the role of healthy fats in protecting both cardiovascular and cognitive function. There's a widespread misconception that all fats are bad, or that fish oil supplements alone can replace real, nutrient-dense fish. Consider Lucille, 78, who admitted she was wary of fatty foods, especially after being told for decades that a low-fat diet was crucial. She diligently avoided most fish, thinking it was either too high in cholesterol or too expensive to eat regularly. When Lucille's doctor noticed her cholesterol levels were imbalanced, he suggested incorporating more omega-3 rich foods. Instead of jumping straight to supplements, she decided to try sardines because they were affordable, shelf-stable, and something she'd heard praised by a friend. After a few months of regularly including sardines in her meals, Lucille's blood work showed promising improvements in her triglyceride levels. Even more importantly, she felt clearer-headed and noticed less day-to-day joint stiffness. While her overall diet and exercise regimen certainly contributed, sardines became a staple that offered consistent support. Why does this happen? Sardines are particularly high in EPA and DHE, two types of omega-3 fatty acids. These have been linked to numerous heart health benefits, including maintaining healthy blood pressure and reducing inflammation within blood vessels. Inflammation is a hidden troublemaker that can contribute to heart disease, joint pain, and even cognitive decline. By offering a steady supply of anti-inflammatory omega-3s, sardines help calm the body's inflammatory processes. This can mean a difference not just in your cholesterol profile, but in how your joints feel, how easily you move, and how alert you feel throughout the day. These same omega-3s are also incredibly beneficial for brain health. Seniors often worry about memory lapses, difficulty concentrating, or brain fog. While there's no magic bullet for preserving cognitive function, a diet rich in omega-3s has been associated with a lower risk of cognitive decline. DHA, in particular, is a major component of brain tissue. By including sardines more frequently in your diet, you give your brain a fighting chance to maintain its structural integrity and possibly slow down age-related decline in mental sharpness. Moreover, sardines naturally contain coenzyme Q10, CoQ10, in small amounts, a compound well known for its role in cellular energy production, particularly in the heart. As you age, your body produces less CoQ10, and certain medications, like some cholesterol-lowering drugs, can reduce it further. Even though sardines might not provide huge doses of CoQ10, it's still an example of how these little fish bring together multiple nutrients that collectively support health in a holistic way. Think about the emotional impact of feeling mentally sharp and physically capable. Confidence often grows when you notice you can handle day-to-day tasks, whether it's remembering grocery items without a list or walking up and down your driveway without feeling winded. It's not about chasing unrealistic youthful energy. It's about extending and enhancing the quality of life you currently have. Sardines, in combination with an overall balanced diet and physical activity suited to your mobility level, can help you hold on to that sense of independence. If you're unsure how to start, consider pairing sardines with heart-healthy foods you already enjoy, like fresh vegetables, whole grains, or legumes. Some people love to top whole grain crackers with sardines and sliced tomatoes. Others prefer incorporating them into a hearty vegetable stew. If you're worried about sodium, look for low salt or no salt added versions. And if you have concerns about cholesterol, remember that dietary cholesterol doesn't always directly translate to high blood cholesterol, especially when paired with the beneficial omega-3s found in sardines. Still, it's wise to monitor your overall intake and check in with your healthcare provider if you have a history of cardiovascular issues. Speaking of which, it's important to remain open-minded. Your specific medical history, medications, or dietary restrictions might require professional guidance. But for many people, adding a few servings of sardines each week is a safe and effective way to nourish both heart and brain. Take a moment to reflect. How do you imagine feeling if your heart felt stronger, your mind clearer, and your joints less achy? Sometimes just visualizing that scenario is enough motivation to give a new food a try. Before we move on to the final piece of the puzzle, practical and enjoyable ways to make sardines a consistent part of your routine, pause and consider your thoughts. Are you intrigued, skeptical, or somewhere in between? Feel free to keep those questions in mind because the best health decisions come from honest curiosity and personal experimentation. I'd love to know where you stand, so mentally note any reservations or excitement you feel. Then let's dive into how you can start using sardines in delicious, senior-friendly meals without feeling overwhelmed. If there's one obstacle that stops many seniors from embracing sardines, it's the misconception that they're tough to cook or too pungent to enjoy in everyday meals. That's understandable. No one wants to open a tin of fish and have the entire kitchen smell fishy for hours. Consider Diane, 70, who had always been a great home cook. She'd mastered everything from casseroles to holiday roasts, but never touched sardines beyond the occasional Caesar dressing. When her grandson mentioned how easy and tasty sardines could be, Diane decided to experiment. She learned that there are lots of tips to neutralize the odor and enhance the flavor, like rinsing the sardines briefly or adding citrus and herbs. She was amazed by how quickly a few sardines could turn an ordinary salad or pasta dish into a hearty, flavorful meal. Practical, enjoyable integration of sardines into your diet can be broken down into small steps. First, start with the type of sardines you buy. If the strong fish flavor is a concern, look for sardines packed in olive oil rather than water, as they tend to have a milder taste and smoother texture. Some brands even offer flavored options. Think lemon pepper, tomato sauce, or herbs. that can introduce you to sardines without overwhelming your palate. You might try stirring them into tomato-based sauces for pasta, where the flavor blends with garlic, onions, and basil, or mash them with avocado for a spread you can put on whole grain toast. The key is to treat sardines like a protein ingredient rather than a standalone dish you must eat plain. You can add them to omelets, scrambled eggs, or even blend them into dips with cream cheese or Greek yogurt if you have no issues with dairy. This is especially useful for seniors who might prefer softer foods but still want something that feels satisfying. If you enjoy fresh salads, consider adding sardines to mixed greens alongside cucumbers, tomatoes, and a drizzle of balsamic vinegar. The combination provides both crunch and protein in a single bowl. For those worried about potential medication interactions, note that sardines, like many fish, contain vitamin K, though typically not in large amounts. If you're on blood thinners, you should keep your vitamin K intake consistent, not necessarily eliminate it. Also, because sardines have a moderate amount of sodium, look for no salt-added versions if you need to monitor your salt intake due to hypertension or heart failure. Always check the label and, when in doubt, consult your pharmacist or doctor. The last thing you want is to unintentionally disrupt a medication routine. Mobility might also be a consideration. Opening cans and preparing meals can be tough if you have arthritis or limited hand strength. Fortunately, many brands offer pull-tab lids that are easier to open than using a traditional can opener. If that's still a challenge, you might keep an electric can opener on hand. Or ask a family member or caretaker to help prep a few cans at a time, storing the sardines in a sealed container for easy use throughout the week. Emotionally, learning new recipes or even adopting a new type of food can be invigorating. It shows you're still open to growth, creativity, and better self-care. There's a sense of accomplishment in mastering a new recipe and sharing it with friends or grandkids. You might even discover that you prefer sardines in certain dishes compared to other fish, especially when you realize how economical they can be. And because sardines typically come pre-cooked and preserved, they're ideal for seniors looking to simplify meal prep. You don't have to worry about undercooking them. You just heat or serve them in creative ways. Ultimately, the goal isn't to overhaul your entire meal plan, but to gradually weave in a food that supports multiple facets of your health. You can start small, like Diane did, by adding just one sardine-based meal a week. If you enjoy it and feel good afterward, try adding another. Notice if it changes how you feel physically or mentally. Do you have a bit more energy? Are you feeling a boost in mood? Sometimes these effects can be subtle, but over weeks or months, you might look back and realize you've made a lasting improvement in your daily routine. As we conclude our exploration of sardines, remember this: small, consistent changes often lead to the most meaningful, long-term gains. The Mediterranean secret of sardines is there for you to discover, and perhaps share with friends who might also benefit. When you take a step back and look at everything we've discussed, it's clear why sardines are no ordinary pantry item. In a single budget-friendly package, they offer essential nutrients like vitamin B12, calcium, and protein to support energy and bone health. They deliver heart-healthy and brain-nourishing omega-3 fatty acids that can help you keep your blood pressure in check, sharpen your mental clarity, and possibly reduce inflammation throughout your body. And they're easy to use. You can seamlessly integrate them into your current lifestyle, even if you have physical limitations or specific dietary considerations. It's natural to feel a spark of excitement at the possibility that such a simple addition to your diet could yield tangible benefits. However, there's also a sense of urgency here. Aging doesn't wait for any of us, and the best time to protect your energy, mobility, and mental sharpness is always right now. If you wait another few years to address nutritional gaps, you could be missing out on valuable time spent playing with grandchildren, traveling, or simply enjoying a pain-free afternoon of gardening. Yet we don't want to approach this from a place of fear. Instead, think of it as an empowering choice that respects your body's needs as you grow older, recognizing that each stage of life can still bring vitality and fresh experiences. One way to begin is to set a simple, achievable goal. Perhaps it's trying a sardine-based meal once or twice a week for a month. If you find the flavor challenging, explore recipes online or ask friends for suggestions. There are countless ways to prepare sardines that might surprise you with their taste. If you love them right away, consider creative combinations like sardine salads, wraps, or pasta dishes. Pay attention to how you feel physically and emotionally. Does your energy pick up? Do you notice any improvements in digestion, sleep, or mood? Even small positive changes can reinforce that you're on the right track. Of course, if you have unique health conditions or complicated medication regimens, consult your doctor or a registered dietitian for personalized advice. Ask them how sardines might fit into your overall plan, especially if you need to monitor sodium intake or manage certain chronic conditions. This step not only helps you tailor your approach, but also builds trust in your own ability to navigate health decisions. You are, after all, the expert on how your body feels and what your tastes are. Never forget that your input is invaluable. If you're feeling ready to move forward, there are a few layers of action you can take. You could simply pick up a can of sardines on your next shopping trip, or you might share this information with a friend or loved one who's also curious about improving their health. For those looking for an even bigger commitment, consider joining a local healthy cooking class or starting a small recipe group in your community to share and discuss new meal ideas. These actions build a sense of community and shared motivation, reminding you that you're not in this alone. Above all, remember that trying sardines isn't a fleeting trend. It's a choice that aligns with a broader commitment to lifelong wellness. It's not about sudden miracles or grandiose promises. It's about harnessing the power of consistent, nourishing habits that respect your body's needs and celebrate your resilience. Even if you've spent 65 or 70 years without ever tasting a sardine, you can always discover something new that benefits your health in ways you never expected. So I invite you to give this Mediterranean secret a chance. Start small, stay curious, and trust that the steps you take today will help shape a more vibrant tomorrow. Whether you spread the word to your friends, explore a few new recipes, or simply open that first can, each action is a testament to your ongoing determination to live well. The choice is yours. Embrace it, and here's to a healthier, happier life at every age.